A brand new car, that smell, that feeling, you earned it, right? The average new car payment in America is $734 a month. That's $8,800 a year. And by the time you make your last payment, the car is worth less than half what you paid. Meanwhile, millionaires are driving cars with 60,000 miles on them, not because they're cheap, because they understand something about money that most people were never taught. And once you see the math, you'll never look at a car payment the same way again. Most people assume wealthy people drive luxury cars, brand new, top of the line, but research tells a completely different story. A study on American millionaires found that over 80% of them have never leased a car. The majority buy used, not beaters, not junk. Cars that are 2 to 4 years old with low mileage. They let someone else take the biggest financial hit, and then they buy the same car for thousands less. Now think about how most people buy cars. You walk into a dealership, you don't talk about total price. You talk about the monthly payment. The salesperson asks one question: what can you afford per month? And that question's designed to trap you. Because the monthly payment hides everything. It hides the interest. It hides the loan length. It hides how much the car will be worth when you're done paying. You think you're buying a car, but you're really signing up for a system that moves money out of your pocket. Slowly, quietly, and for years. Here's what's actually happening to your money when you buy a new car. The moment you drive off the lot, the car drops in value. Not a little, a lot. In the first year alone, the average new car loses about 20% of its value. So that $45,000 car is now worth around $36,000. You still owe close to $45,000 on the loan. But the car itself is already worth $9,000 less than what you're paying for it. That gap is called being underwater. And most people are underwater on their car loan within the first month. By year 3, that same car has lost roughly 40% of its original value. It's now worth around $27,000. But if you financed it over 6 years, you've only paid down maybe $22,000 of the loan. You still owe $23,000 on a car worth $27,000. You're barely above water after 3 full years of payments. Now here's where it gets worse. According to industry data, the average American trades in their car after about 5 years. But the average loan is 72 months. That's 6 years. So people are trading in before the loan is even paid off. They walk into the dealership still owing money on the old car, and the dealership says no problem. They roll the leftover balance into the new loan. So now you're paying for a new car, plus the debt from the old one. It's a cycle, and every time you restart it, you fall further behind. Let's run the real numbers. You buy a new car for $45,000. You put $3,000 down. Your loan is $42,000 at 7.1% interest for 72 months. That's the current national average rate for new cars, according to the Federal Reserve. Your monthly payment is $718. Over 6 years, you'll pay a total of $51,700. That means you paid $6,700 just in interest, but that's not the real cost. After 6 years, your car is worth about $18,000. You pay $51,700 for something now worth $18,000. The real cost of owning that car was $33,700. That's not counting insurance, gas, maintenance, or repairs. That's just the purchase and the depreciation. Let me break it down another way. A new car loses roughly $17,000 in value during the first 3 years. That's $472 vanishing from your net worth every single month while you're still making payments on it. Every month you make a $718 payment and the car drops $472 in value. You're not building anything. You're running on a treadmill with a fee attached to it. Now compare that to buying a 3-year-old version of the same car. That car costs around $28,000. You still get modern safety features. You still get low mileage. But the steepest depreciation already happened. The car might lose $5,000 to $6,000 over the next 3 years instead of $17,000. If you financed $25,000 at 7.5% for 48 months. Your payment is about $606. Total paid, $29,100. The car is worth around $22,000 when you're done. Your real cost, $7,100. Compare that to $33,700. Same brand, same model, same driving experience. One decision cost you $26,600 more than the other. That's not a car choice. That's a wealth choice. This system didn't happen by accident. It was designed. Dealerships make more money on financing than they do selling the actual car. The profit on the vehicle itself might be $1,500 to $2,000, but the profit from the loan, the extended warranty, the gap insurance, the add-ons, that can be $5,000 or more per deal. That's why they always steer the conversation to the monthly payment. A longer loan with a lower monthly number feels easier, but it means more interest, more time underwater, and a higher chance you'll trade in before the loan is done. Lenders benefit too. Banks and financing companies love 72 and 84-month car loans because the interest stacks up. On a $42,000 loan at 7.1% over 72 months, you pay $6,700 in interest. Stretch that to 84 months, and the interest jumps to around $8,000. More months, more profit for them. And then there's the trade-in cycle. According to automotive industry data, nearly 30% of people trading in a car have negative equity. They owe more than the car is worth. The average amount of that negative equity, $6,000. That $6,000 gets folded into the next loan. So you're starting your next car purchase $6,000 in the hole before you even pick the color. The industry calls this a customer for life. You might call it a trap. Now, the biggest objection you'll hear is this: used cars are unreliable. You'll spend more on repairs than you save. And 20 years ago, that might have been partly true. But modern cars are engineered to last well past 200,000 miles. According to consumer reliability data, a 3-year-old car with 35,000 miles has about 90% of its useful life remaining. You're not buying someone else's problem. You're buying a car that already proved it works, at a massive discount. The repair argument doesn't hold up either. Even if you spent $2,000 a year on repairs for a paid-off used car, that's still $6,600 less per year than a $718 monthly payment. The math isn't close, so here's your plan. Step 1. Drive your current car for at least 2 more years. Don't trade in. Don't upgrade. Let it do its job while you stack money. Step 2. Save $500 a month into a separate account. In 18 months, you'll have $9,000. In 24 months, $12,000. That's real cash to buy a solid used car outright. Step 3. When you buy, target cars that are 3 to 4 years old with under 40,000 miles. Pay cash or finance as little as possible with a 36-month loan maximum. No 72-month loans, no rolling debt forward. And once you own that car free and clear, keep saving the $500 a month, but now, instead of buying another car, put it into a high-yield savings account or an index fund. That money starts working for you instead of disappearing under a hood. 2 people, same income, $55,000 a year, same city, same cost of living. Person A buys a new car every 5 years. Each time they finance $42,000 over 72 months. They trade in with about $5,000 in negative equity each time. Over 10 years, Person A spends roughly $110,000 on cars between payments, interest, and rolled over debt. At the end of 10 years, they own a car worth about $18,000. Their net position from car ownership, negative $92,000. Person B does it differently. They buy a 3-year-old car for $15,000 cash and drive it for 5 years. Then they do it again. Total spent on cars over 10 years, $30,000. They also invest the difference, $500 a month, into an index fund, averaging 8% annual returns. After 10 years, that investment account holds approximately $91,000. Person B's net position, $61,000 positive. That is $91,000 in investments plus an $18,000 car minus the $30,000 spent, about $79,000 total. Now put those two side by side. Person A is $92,000 in the hole from cars. Person B has nearly $79,000 in net wealth from the same income. The gap is over $170,000. Same paycheck, same neighborhood, same grocery store. The only difference is what they understood about cars and money. One person treated a car like a status symbol. The other treated it like a tool. This is not your fault. Nobody sat you down and explained this. Nobody showed you the real math before you signed the paperwork. The system was built to keep you in the loop, buying, owing, trading in, and buying again. But now you know. You're not someone who falls for the monthly payment trick anymore. You're someone who sees the full picture, and that changes everything. If this helped you see money differently, subscribe, because nobody taught us this about money. So let's talk about it.